All right, this video is going to walk you through a kickstart of getting the beginning stages of the rotations of 90 degrees, 270 degrees, and 180 degrees with different shapes and coordinates. Hopefully you've had a chance to watch the video that explains what I'm going to use for terminology prior to this, but once you get going, this is not too bad. What you have to first of all do is recognize that, hey, we got a shape. And on this shape here, we got some coordinates. If you look at the coordinates, we got one here at -4, 4. We got a dot right here at -6, 4. And we also have a dot here at -6, 8. As you try to take this shape, it's asking you in the directions here to rotate this thing clockwise. As you think about a clock, the clock numbers go 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 12, going around the circle this way. That's what we call clockwise. That's the way a clock works. But whenever you're going counterclockwise, you're going backwards against the way a clock works. So if we're going to do a rotation of 90 degrees, every time you go 90 degrees, you end up in a new quadrant. So there's 90 degrees, there's 90 degrees, there's 90 degrees. So depending on how many degrees you travel, whether it's 190 or even 390s to get around the circle, it's going to be a different quadrant you land in. So in this case here, if you're going to rotate 90 degrees clockwise, that puts you one quadrant to the right, which ends you up right over here. Now whenever you're doing a rotation that's 90 degrees that ends up one quadrant away from where you started, you're going to use this idea of swapping and matching. You're going to swap the order of the numbers, and then you're going to match the quadrant signs of what place you end up in. So we're starting right here in a quadrant 2 where you have a negative number and a positive number. Notice all these numbers go negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. So when we end up in the first quadrant, we want them to both be positive, positive. So when I reverse this order of 4 and -4, like this, then this will go first and this will go second. So I'll have 4, -4, like that. Then the quadrant that you're going to is supposed to match and be positive, positive. So that negative that you see right here, that we after switching the two numbers around, that needs to be a positive also. So this coordinate will be at 4, 4. If I do the next one, if I rotate the second coordinate and reverse those, or swap them, I'll have the 4 come first, and the -6 come second. But remember, it needs to go to positive, positive, so that means this is going to be a positive 6. And then lastly, we're going to reverse this order, or swap the order. And then we got 8 first, and then the -6 second. But again, remember, it's supposed to end up in the positive, positive, so that means we're going to have 8, 6. So once you've got your coordinates now established by swapping them and then matching them to the quadrant signs you're supposed to use in that quadrant, you now have the coordinates now ready to graph, and you're done with the question. So I just need to go to 4, 4, make a click, and then make a dot at 4, 6, make a click, and make a dot at 8, 6. So you're going 8 over and then 6 up, which puts you right there. As you finish out the triangle, I hope your triangle will go that smoothly as well when you submit the first question. Remember, whenever you do some kind of rotation, whether it's clockwise, going around this way around something, or counterclockwise, if you end up one quadrant away, swap the x and y's and then match them to the quadrant signs you're supposed to use. Next, I'm going to jump down to the next one 3 spots down where you have a 180 degree clockwise rotation. In this one right here, I'm going to write the coordinates down first, and then we'll talk through how this works. So I'm going to go like this. I have my first coordinate right here. This coordinate is at 4, 4. 4, 4. I got a coordinate right here at, let's say, 6, 4. So it's kind of following the same kind of format here, it looks like. And then we got the next one right here that's at 6, 8. Wow, that's really close to the same first one we just did. Yours might be the same, who knows. But as we try to convert these now, we're trying to get this to convert over to a 180 degrees. And it says clockwise on here too, so that means we're going around it like this, but you're going to end up from quadrant 1, which is where we're starting now, and you're going to end up down here in quadrant number 2, or quadrant number 3. So that means, and we're doing clockwise, by the way. All right, so whenever you end up down here, the phrase you want to remember on this one is just to change the signs, okay? It says in the video that I have here, just to say, it says the word change. So all you're going to do is change the signs. And what that means is, if I've got 2 positives, they become 2 negatives. This is actually really quite easy once you recognize what's going on here. So you don't swap the order of the x and y's. All you do is just change the signs. So I've got a 4, positive 4, positive 4. That now will change into, oops, I use orange. It'll change into -4, -4. This is positive 6, positive 4. That's going to change into -6, -4. Lastly, this is positive 6, positive 8. That'll change into -6, -8. That's all it is for changing 180 degree type rotations on the coordinate plane. So now, if I want to do this answer, I go to -4, -4, make that click, and then I make a click at -6, -4, which is right there, and then click at -6, -8, which is going to put me right there. And as you make a triangle for a 180 rotation, that's how those work. So really all you have to do when it says rotate clockwise or counterclockwise, it doesn't matter because you'll still end up in the same quadrant, just change the signs of those numbers. That's all it is. Now if there's another one that comes up eventually in your homework, it might say 270. I don't know if that number 2 did. No, it didn't. If they happen to say 270, that just means like this number 5 here. If it says 270, the same idea is going to work as your 90-degree one. I'll just show you real quick how this one starts out. I probably won't be, I can fit it on here. Okay. We'll put the coordinates on this one here. It's got 3, 3, 3, 3, and then we got one here at, looks like 5, 3, 5, 3, and then we got another one over here at, what does it say, 5, 7, so 5, 7. Now, if we're going to be doing 270 degrees clockwise, so 270 degrees clockwise, that means you're starting here in the top quadrant. We're going the way the clock works, which is down this way. But this is 90, this is 180, and this is 270. So you're going to end up over here in the top left quadrant, okay? So if you end up in the top left quadrant, again, the quadrants go like this. They go plus, plus, they go negative, plus, they go negative, negative, and then plus, negative. If you can just memorize these different sign quadrants, it'll make this a lot easier for you to figure out as well. But now when I say 270, you're starting out in this quadrant right here. And you're going all the way around to this quadrant right here, where you're one quadrant away. And whenever you end up one quadrant away, we're going to be using this idea of swap and match. You're going to swap the x and y and match the quadrant signs. So here's how it works. You switch these numbers around, 3, 3, well, it stays 3, 3. But the quadrant you're ending up now in is this one right here, which is going to go negative, positive, so it means this is a negative 3, positive 3. If we swap these around right here and put those now as 3 and then 5, okay, it's supposed to go negative, positive, so that means this is going to go as a negative 3, 5. Next one, we're going to swap and change this last one right here. We're going to have to switch these around and make the 7 come first and the 5 come second. So 7 first and the 5 come second. And then don't forget to match the quadrant signs, and that's going to be right here at negative, positive. So it makes negative 7, 5. So if we graph these 3 points right here, that'll make the shape work when we do a 270 rotation. So as we go around here, it's going to end up here in this quadrant right here. So make the coordinate at negative 3, 3. There's the click. You got one at negative 3, 5. There's the click. And then there's another one over here at negative 7, negative 5. Negative 7 and then 5 right there. As you make your 270 rotation clockwise, hopefully yours also works out for you when you try questions like number 5, if that's how yours gets generated. And then lastly, there's counterclockwise. So if you're in this one right here, going counterclockwise against the way a clock works, which is going around this way, you'll end up in this quadrant. So then you'll want to make sure you swap and change your numbers to a positive first and then a negative second. That's all there is to it. It's quite easy once you get those going. Then there'll be some other things on here that talk about reflections, which is a review of the other days you've done. This one is just about matching things across the y-axis. So if you see that I'm on the y-axis right here, I want to have all 3 of these red dots the same distance away from this vertical line that you see here for the y-axis. This is a quick review for these kind. If you see this one right here, you're going to go, well, that's 1 square away on that side, so there'll have to be 1 square on this side. If you go here to the 4 units up, you'll notice it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up over here to 6 units to the left. So it'll then be 6 units to the right on the opposite matching side. When you reflect across the y-axis, remember this is the y-axis right here, so we want all 3 of these dots to have the same distance on the opposite side. This one over here, it's 8 units up. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left. If you look down here below this right here, it's got 5 to the left of the y-axis. Then just make sure you go 5 to the right, and that puts you right there. As you try to make this graph, hopefully you can make your reflections work out well by counting how far are the original dots from the y-axis and then placing new dots on the other opposite side the same distance away. And lastly, this one here says, given this one here, it wants you to translate. Again, it's just counting what it tells you to do. You just take this one here, it says translate for me on question number 8. It says, given in figure 4, I want to go 4 units up and 2 to the right. So just do one of them at a time. So go 4 up, 2 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 to the right. Boom. Take this dot right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 to the right. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 to the right. Boom. And you got your graph translated. Whoops. And if it does that again, click again, it makes the thing stop. Hopefully you can get yours all to work. Oh, I made a mistake. I didn't count carefully as I'm talking here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I gotta pull that one up just a little bit. Hopefully it'll let me. Let me do that again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 to the right. There you go. Again, take your time like I did. I was trying to go a little bit too fast for this video, but hopefully you can get yours to turn green by counting the corners and then playing it like a board game. 4 up, 2 to the right like I did there, and get your graph translated. The last of this is going to be you just dicing up this right here into different rectangles and getting perimeter and area. Good luck on the homework today, and I hope this video helps.